I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job, yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job, yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Hey, good morning, Firmly Rooted family. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries. Wednesday, rainy out there today. I still got the trash out, so I did that part. Back in the office, doing devotions. Hopefully, my camera's all messed up. What happened here? Hold on a minute. Try that. Let me make sure that sound and everything's good. I had to make some adjustments. People switching things around from Sundays sometimes has things unplugged, plugged. So tell me that you can hear me and see me. Ken Gooch, good morning. Chris Connolly, good morning. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Trying to see who else might be on board. We're all good. All right. Very good. Thank you. There's Bert Reggiani. All right. Today's devotion, just a couple verses. As I said yesterday and the day before, we're working our way and we're finishing up 1 Peter chapter 5. And he's talking to the elders. He's talking to just how it's all supposed to be working. Like, what should be the attitude of the average Christian in order to have a church that is functioning and doing what it ought to do, considering we just got done doing the 7 letters to the churches in Revelation. He says in verse 8, be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him. Stand firm in the faith, because you know that your brothers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. Boys, how important is it that we as a Christian brotherhood stay together, that we mingle together, live together, talk together, struggle together, hold each other accountable, right? That just as Paul says in Ephesians 6, we have this enemy that every day is pulling back a flaming arrow, seeking to shoot it at us. Hence, we should always be putting on the full armor of God. Gentlemen, on this Wednesday, I'm asking us all to consider, not consider, to remember, to not to forget that every single day we're in a spiritual battle, warfare. And that warfare is not just individualistic. It's not just about you and me. It is about our families. It's about our communities. It's about our church. We as Christian men are to rise up as leaders. Leaders knowing that the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Knowing that we need to be self-controlled and alert. Alert? The verses that we've been reading in our Strengthening Our Roots. The end times are coming and we have to be alert. We have to be ready. We have to be observant. We have to be not overwhelmed by the circumstances of the kingdom of this world, but we need to be focused on what God's got going on and what he calls us to do. Self-controlled. Man, we've had some messages about that, haven't we? Self-controlled, that we need to be self-controlled. You can't have the fruit of the Spirit without being self-controlled. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Woe to the man who can't control himself. Only way to do that is divide the two natures, to understand who you really are. It's not any fun. But in the end, it's good. Because the more that we can become aware of who we are, and what makes our old nature tick and what makes our new nature tick, we can exercise self-control because we can stop the old. We know the enemy's whispering, right? Because the enemy is prowling around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. So we should resist him, standing firm in the faith. Well, isn't it interesting that Paul says in Ephesians 6 that by putting on the full armor of God, we stand firm? He says stand firm 3 or 4 times. That we don't end up on our backs, but we end up standing firm. How about a day when we go to bed because we've stood firm and we back Satan off? What? Is that possible, Pastor? James 4:7, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Yes, he's a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. I want to remind you what Luther said. In Jesus' death and resurrection, the lion's teeth are knocked out. So all he can do is make a bunch of noise. All Satan can do is make a bunch of noise with his lies. What we have to do is be self-controlled so that our old nature doesn't rise up and buy the lies. Because if our old nature rises up and buys the lies, then all of a sudden our new nature is going to get squished. We're going to end up lacking self-control. We're going to not stand firm. We're not going to put on the full armor of God, and we're going to end up on our asses. Period. Every day you and I have this fight. Every day we're either going, and that's why I like the, I think it's over here, this image. A number of years ago, I did a devotion and I did a men's group thing saying, which one are we? We ought to be the one on top, not the one on the bottom. But it takes discipline. It takes self-control. It takes effort on us men's part. What will be the benefit? Personally, you'll have more victories than failures. What other benefits? We'll raise our families properly. Our sons and daughters will see what it means to live a life that is standing firm and in self-control. We'll teach the next generation. We'll disciple them into how to do this right. Where they're not going to wallow around like the waves, falling into every possible shameful thought and practice, because they're going to be wise and discerning. So, gentlemen, I'm just going to read the text to you again. Think about everything that I just said. Peter says, be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that your brothers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. I'll leave it at that. I hope that this devotion was a blessing to you. Hey, have a great day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.